A very good morning to you, Kingdom family. So, the word I have for you today is from Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13. Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13. This is about the parable of the 10 virgins. Okay, this explains about the 10 virgins who were waiting for the bridegroom. And the word I have termed as stay awake. Okay, stay awake. So we see in the Bible or in the word there were these 10 virgins. It's just a parable, it is not a true story, it is just an incident explained to simplify how the kingdom of heaven is like. So I've just made a gist of it here. We have the 10 virgins, out of which 5 were foolish and 5 were wise. Okay, the foolish one took their lamps without oil, whereas the wise ones took oil in jars along with their lamps. So this is about the 10 virgins who went to meet out the bridegroom. Okay, so then it goes on saying that 5 were foolish, 5 were wise. As I said, the foolish ones took their lamps without oil. The wise ones took oil in separate jars along with their lamps. Okay, then there is a certain time. The bridegroom was long time in coming, and they all become drowsy and fell asleep. Okay, then at midnight the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish one said to the wise, "Give some of your oil, our lamps are going out." The wise ones replied, "No, there may not be enough for both of us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later the foolish ones came. "Lord, Lord," they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour." So the word is stay awake, and this is about the parable of the 10 virgins. We see here that there were 10 virgins, 5 were foolish, 5 were wise. Okay, and we see how they were waiting for the bridegroom. They were waiting for the bridegroom to come, but he was late in coming. And we also see that the 5 foolish ones, they took their lamps without oil. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, it says, and they all become drowsy and fell asleep. Okay, so again, we see here at midnight the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Okay, so it says that the foolish ones took their lamps but did not take any oil with them. Okay, so we see here the word is stay awake, and we see how the foolish virgins took their lamps, but they did not take extra oil, as in they thought, they assumed, okay, this is an assumption. They thought that they assumed is the proper word. They assumed that the bridegroom would come, okay, and whatever oil was there in their lamp was sufficient until he comes. But the wise ones, okay, there is a reason why they are called as wise, okay. The wise ones took extra oil in jars along with their lamps, okay. So so they were ready, okay. What if things don't go out the way their mind is telling them to? So they were ready in case if the bridegroom does not come on that day, or if he comes next day, if he gets delayed by a day or two. They were ready with extra oil, okay. They were prepared for the bridegroom. Here the bridegroom is Jesus Christ, okay, and these virgins are the people of God, okay. And we also see that, okay, the Lord put it on my mind that there is something about this oil, okay. And I was asking him what is it, okay, so that I can preach about this. But the Lord told me that he will not disclose it to me until I come and do this recording, okay. So I've been trying from yesterday, from day before yesterday, to analyze or to check what the Holy Spirit is leading me to in regards to this oil. But I got my answer first only, that the Lord will open it up to me only when I do this recording, okay. But still, as a human, I was going on thinking deep about it. What is it? Does it mean that the foolish ones did not take the oil with them? Okay, so almost 1.5 day I've been thinking deep about it. But the Lord told me first only that this is it. When you start doing the recording, He will release the revelation. Okay, so so the Lord has released it to me. So we see here the bridegroom is Jesus Christ, and the foolish ones, these 10 virgins are waiting for the arrival of the bridegroom, okay. And in another way, we can also see that the wise ones took oil, extra oil with them, okay. It is like they were ready for whatever, however the circumstance will unfold. They were ready, okay. They were ready with all the the weapons that they would require, okay, to go and meet the bridegroom. But we see here how the foolish ones took their lamps without the oil, okay. In another way, we can see that the oil, it's like the oil which the foolish ones did not take, we can akin it to like the drive inside of them, okay. As in, they waited, they loved the Lord, they were eager to meet the Lord, okay. But they did not have that drive in them to persevere. They did not have the drive in them to persevere until Jesus comes, okay. They loved the Lord, but their love for him was superficial, okay. But we see here how the virgins, wise ones, were diligent. They were led by the Holy Spirit, we can say, and that's why they took the extra oil. They persevered, and when Jesus came, they were ready. Okay, so this is again, it says, at that time the kingdom of heaven will be like the 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. So we see that these foolish virgins were lukewarm and the wise ones were diligent. in following Christ. Okay, God also says in His word, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Or else God says, do not be lukewarm, or I will vomit you from my mouth. Okay, so we see here the Lord is calling us not to be like the foolish ones who were not prepared for the coming of Christ. Okay, they took it for granted that their lamps will still go on, and they were, first of all, they were lazy, they procrastinated. Okay, they were not prepared well enough. We are called to be prepared enough for the coming of Christ. Okay, and we see here how the foolish ones, when at midnight the bridegroom, nobody comes at midnight, right? No good person, no, because nobody comes in the night, no person comes, a relative guest, nobody travels in the night. But we see here how the bridegroom on purpose came at night because he wanted to see that whether the virgins are awake or asleep. Okay, so when we follow Christ, let us not fall asleep, let us be wide awake. Okay, let the Holy Spirit keep the fire in our hearts. If we follow Christ, it is not because of ourselves, but it is the doing of the Holy Spirit living in our hearts. The fire that is lit in our hearts is not our doing, but it is because of the Holy Spirit. Okay, so in so we see that how the foolish ones, their oil got over and they could not go and meet the bridegroom. Only those who had a lit lamp could go and meet the bridegroom. Okay, so the lit lamp can also symbolize there are so many revelations the Lord is giving me in this. The lit lamp can symbolize the Holy Spirit living in us. Okay, and the foolish ones, okay, their lamps were going out, the light in their lamps were going out, maybe on their way to following Christ. They got uh, the word says that it is a narrow way, wide is the way to destruction, but narrow is the way to heaven, narrow is the way to life. So in a way we can say that the foolish ones got distracted as they followed Christ. They strayed away from Christ, and the wise ones kept going with the fire of the Holy Spirit in their hearts. Okay, the foolish ones, the wise ones kept ready, going with the fire of the Holy Spirit in their hearts. And when the bridegroom arrived at midnight, they went to meet him. And similarly, the foolish ones, they the as it is said over here, our lamps, the foolish ones said to the wise ones, our lamps are going out. Okay, so we see here how the Holy Spirit, they did not ignite the fire of the Holy Spirit. Following Christ means work. Okay, we cannot take our love for Christ, okay, our walk particularly, we cannot take our walk for Christ lightly or for granted. We know that whatever we lose, whatever we take for granted, whatever we take for granted, we tend to lose. Okay, so we see here how the foolish ones were negligent, okay, in their walk with Christ, and the fire of the Holy Spirit dimmed in their hearts. Okay, when it says that the light went, the oil is running out. Okay, the oil is running out, the light of the Holy Spirit in their hearts was had run out. Okay, so this says that, this shows that the oil, they were not diligent in following Christ. Okay, they were lukewarm. And the word says that, let your yes be yes, let your no be no, or else I will vomit you. God says, I will vomit you from my mouth. Okay, this did not necessarily mean a direct thing that God will reject us, that God will abandon us, but it can mean that, that connection with God will get hampered. Okay, uh, the connection will with God, I think it is tempered, will get tempered. And so this is why we got to be ready every time. If anyone questions us, the word also says that if anyone asks you a question, we've got to be ready, not with our answer, but with the answer of Christ. Okay? And the word was stay awake. We got to stay awake, not with our diligence, not with our tenacity, not with our hard work, not with our perseverance, but we got to stay awake with the fire of the Holy Spirit burning in our hearts. St. Augustine said that our hearts are restless until they rest in God. We all know that we are ultimately made for God. We are not made, ultimately, I'm saying we are not made for our friends, not for our spouses. We come to this earth in our timing. We live in our in God's timing. We will live in God's timing. Okay, our life is not determined by our doing, but by the will of our Father in heaven. Okay, He is it that allows things. He is the creator, He is the master planner, He is the writer, He is the master, He is the designer. I read this quote somewhere: God is the designer, okay? He is the ultimate sophisticated designer of our lives. So the word was stay awake, and let us not be like these foolish virgins. Let us be like the wise virgins who waited for their bridegroom. Okay, it says virgins. Okay, so let us not be like the foolish virgins. Okay, let us be like the wise virgins. Let us do the work. Okay, narrow is the way to the bridegroom, narrow is the way to heaven, wide is the gate to destruction. Okay, so let us be diligent in following Christ. Even if we fall, let us get up and let us go on. Let us not stop. Even if we are tired and weary, even if we stop for a little while, let us continue. Let us not give up. Let us not grow weary in following the bridegroom of our lives, Jesus Christ. Have a great day, Kingdom family. The blessings of the ultimate bridegroom, Jesus Christ, be upon you and your household. Let the Lord bless you. Let the Lord make His light shine upon you. Okay, and let the Lord give you His peace, not the peace that the world wants to give us. Okay, we do not need the peace of this world. It is not sustainable. It will not sustain us, but the peace of Christ is for the long term. The peace of Christ is for eternity. Let us follow Christ. Okay, let us follow Christ truly. Have a great day, Kingdom family. It's early morning now. Okay, let us follow Christ. Let us be like, not like the foolish virgins, but let us be like the wise virgins, and we will have a blessed, fruitful, a joy filled life, even if our circumstances are running haywire. Okay, does not matter. What matters is that Jesus Christ is with us. Have a great day, Kingdom family.